So we got the closest looking thing you've ever seen, Andrew Undem. He'll take it, I'm sure. I know. So let me give you a little idea about Andrew. Andrew Undem is the co-owner and managing partner of the Sure Sales Group out of Baltimore, Maryland. Hunter and I first met Andrew out in Omaha. We were out there for something similar to this. And literally what happened is, those of you that have been with me on some trips, I know Amin's been there, some of the rest of y'all have. What I like to do when we go on these trips, and let me just give a plug, for those of you going to convention, we have rented the entire, on Sunday night, now you're going to have to help me, Katie, Rabbit Hole Distillery in Louisville for Sunday night. And here's what we're doing. We have found 6 or 7, I can't remember the exact number, 6 of the biggest feeder markets where agents that would be able to send you referrals or you would be able to send referrals to. We've rented out the entire distillery for the first night so you can network and meet all of those agents so that hopefully you can build some relationships to generate some extra business, really get that convention started. So that's kind of the thing that I like to do when we go on these events. So when we were out there, we had put together, it was Hunter's birthday, which is kind of ironic. We had about 15 of us there. Heidi was there. Molly was there. And what was great is it was Hunter's birthday. We went to Warren Buffett's favorite steakhouse out there, and Hunter bought dinner for everybody on his birthday. It was weird, but I was glad he was there, so it was no problem. But so what we had done is we had this group of about 15 of us that were going to dinner. We had someone that canceled at last minute, and I took the registry of who the speakers were that were coming to the event, and I said, who's the one that does the most production that I've never met? And I literally went on Instagram, and I sent a private message to Andrew and said, hey, man, saw you're going out there. Love for you to join a group of us. We've got, and I think I said, we've got over $2 billion worth of agents that are coming to this dinner. We'd love to have you as a part of it. I mean, it was like it hit, and Andrew came right back, and this is where he started getting me. It's pretty funny. And he says, Jimmy, I've literally been sitting here waiting on you to text me. I'd never met him before. I was like, oh, well, great. That's great. So Andrew, literally, you guys, he is one of the smartest and most forward-thinking people I've ever met, and at a relatively young age. I was sitting there with my mom while we were sitting there, and Doug was speaking, and we've got, and Andrew's coming up, and I said, I don't know when I became the old guy that's trying to get around smart, younger people than me. You know what I mean? How did that happen? But just to give you an idea that about Andrew, his team closed 499 transactions, over $178 million worth of sales volume in 2021. Pretty incredible numbers, yeah, in Baltimore. If you haven't gotten a chance, he's a great follow on Instagram. He is who he is. He does at times, though, make a few bold predictions, and this is what I love. Andrew's company, and they came over from RE/MAX. How long ago has that been, Andrew? Just recently? Year and a half ago. Andrew made a bold prediction that maybe if we can cue that up, we can let you see this. This was recently on Instagram.
Bold prediction. My name's Andrew Undem. I sell real estate in Baltimore, and this is a bold prediction. I've done it before, and I have a pretty good track record. And here's the prediction. Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices is what's next. RE/MAX had its day. Keller Williams had a good run. You know what's next? It's Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. I've looked at every brand. We're a big team here in the Mid-Atlantic in Baltimore. We had opportunities to go with a lot of different places, and we got it. Compass, you name it. Sotheby's, RE/MAX, Keller Williams, EXP, all of them. And they're all pretty good. But nothing's quite like Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. Now, people always ask me, Andrew, do you ever talk to Warren Buffett? And he calls me once in a while when he needs advice. But no, really, this brand and the leadership behind it is unmatched. We're on the radar, and we are what's next.
Come on, man. How about that? Guys, please give a warm welcome to my friend, Andrew Undem. Thanks, baby. All right. I got it.
So I have leverage. I had someone else make these slides for me. Their full-time job is to make me look cool online, which is important. So, man, I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning in Baltimore, 3 kids under the age of 5. Took 2 planes, 2 cars to get here, and I can tell you this with absolute certainty. There's nowhere in the world I'd rather be than right here, right now. Because is this not paradise? And it's funny, when Jimmy invited me to come down to do this, which was about a month ago, I was sitting with my wife, again, 3 kids. We have a lot of travel lined up, all kinds of stuff. And I said, baby, I have to do this. Because there's not one person in my career, particularly at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, that has poured more into me, has given things to me I didn't even have to ask, than Jimmy Burgess. And he is an incredible leader and an incredible friend. And I know for a fact, that's for you, that I know for a fact I hear from these other influential people that Jimmy says nice things about me when I'm not around. And when you have friends like that, you got to take care of them. And I also know your mom's here, and I can only imagine how freaking proud of you she is, Jimmy, for not only to grow this organization, to be the chief growth officer, but now to be acquired by HSA because you're your amazing brand and to be named the CEO. That's unbelievable movie storybook stuff, your son. So, all right. That's not what I came to talk about, but I had to get that out there. I was trying to make Jimmy cry. His mom is good. So what I'm going to share with you today is 4 pillars of success. That's the little kind of talk I put together in my head. These 4 things, I believe, if you focus on these things, you will crush and you can achieve at the highest level this business has to offer. And the 4 pillars are based on everything I've learned in my career, and it's allowed me to sell over $1 billion of real estate in the last 12 years. It allowed us to have a great year last year, and it's going to allow us to hit our goal, because we're going up and to the right. We're going to do 1,000 deals a year for over $350 million by 2024. And you have to have multi-year plans. My 20-year plan is pretty good, too. I'm going to make it tonight. So the goal here is really, I can't teach you everything in 30 minutes or 45 minutes, but I just want to give you a little spark. I want to illuminate a part of your brain that says, hey, I might want to start focusing a little bit more on that. I can get a little better in this area. Okay? So that's the goal. And I know that there's people in this room who are superior to me and us in some of these areas. And that's also why I came down. I came down here to learn. And I'm already learning from Doug. I just talked to Doug, talked to Zero for the last 45 minutes. He goes, you lower your splits. You're paying your agents too much. Immediately. He's trying to put money in my pocket if I'll listen. And that's why I came down. So here's a little bit of background on me before I jump into the slides. I'm 34 years old. I got into this business, graduated college May of 2009, finance degree. Wanted to be a money guy. And that didn't work out. Everything was collapsing in 2009, but I got into new home sales with NVR Inc. Ryan Homes, NV Homes. Are they in this market, Hunter, at all? No? Well, they're one of the biggest builders in the country, and they had incredible training. And I ate that up as a 22-year-old kid. I'm making $200,000 a year. I'm 22 years old. I'm working in a model, killing it. I thought I was the bee's knees. And the cool part was I got so much sales training from them and training on new construction, because what they do is they'll send you away 3 weeks, multiple times with corporate instructors, and they're going to make sure you know how to sell this stuff. You're not going to go in that model with a shirt and tie on, and you're not going to not close these deals, or they won't let you. They're doing psychological testing. I thought I was like joining the CIA. It was intense. And at the same time, when I'm working in that model home every single day on my days off, so I worked every weekend, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I went to work for the premier sales consulting firm in Baltimore, because I had a friend there. And I'm learning their B2B stuff. They're trying to figure out how to sell the Pentagon $10 million and stuff. And I'm learning this new home sales stuff. And the magic happened is I got to practice this stuff every single day for 3 years in that model home. To the point where I said, look, this money's good. And everyone thought I was crazy. My parents were like, you do not leave that job. This is unbelievable. Because I was kind of the one kid that didn't get straight A's, and all my family's in medicine. And I'm like, not that. So you can't leave that job. I said, Mom, I have to do this. Because I see these agents come in. They don't know how to sell. They're not even that prepared. They mess up half the deals. I put them back together, and I see what they make, and it makes me want to puke. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to blow it up. Thank God I did. Thank God. So, clicker. Here's the four pillars that you need to know. First is technique, tools, habits, and mindset. You guys can read. So I'm going to tell you why I think these are the most important things. Give you my 2 cents on them, why I think they're pillars, super pivotal. And then I'll tell you one thing we're doing right now in our business that's helping us move the ball forward. That's the deal. And here's the thing, guys. Change is happening all the time. It's already changed so much in my 12 years. The change in this industry, in this business, is coming, and it's coming faster than ever. And the change is guaranteed, but your progress is not. You don't have to get better. You can come and get wiped away, and that's going to happen to a lot of people, unfortunately. Don't let it be you. And if you work on these things, I'm telling you, this is not rocket surgery. This is being a real estate salesperson. So let me dive into technique, because I'm so big on this. I'm going to spend more time on techniques. I think it's underutilized, not talked about enough, and it's the fastest way to increase your income, not waste your time, and just stuff money in your pockets and make yourself more confident is your technique. And when I say technique, that's how you do something. So I'm an East Coast guy, a little different than Doug. When he was talking, I'm like, man, are they going to be ready for me to, I got to talk fast. D-I, you get the drill. Just keep going. The technique's really important, guys, how you do it. It's like if you're an NBA player, you don't shoot free throws like this. Balance, eye, elbow, follow through, cash money. And we're not spending enough time on our techniques. So these are some of the key things in our business, selling residential real estate. The most critical things that we do are when we're face-to-face with a client, someone who wants to buy real property or sell real property, we're going to get a big-ass commission check if we do that right. Is that not right? Especially in this market, average price 1.8. You have to be dialed in with this stuff, and a lot of people take it way too casual. I got my license. I got a good attitude. I got a buyer presentation. That doesn't work. It doesn't work in our market, and if it's working now, it won't be working in the future. You have to be laser sharp with this stuff. You know, the Abe Lincoln quote, give me an hour to cut down a tree, I'm going to spend the first 50 minutes or whatever it is sharpening the axe. That's technique. I want to be so good. When I swing this axe, it will cut, and I will win. And we are going to not waste any of these opportunities. And what I see all the time is everyone just wants more leads. Give me more opportunity. Give me more opportunity. How about close what you have? How about get so good that you don't need these opportunities? You have a steak in front of you. You eat 3 bites of it. You're trying to order another steak. You got to work on this. This is what you need to be working on. So I'm a big sales process guy because I was just dosed with it since I was 22. So I'm not going to go too, my whole talk was going to be on that, but Jimmy and I actually did a recording. It was trending on Inman for a couple weeks. Not as long as Heidi Harris's stuff trends, but it trended. And I talked all about the sales process, so you can check that out. But you guys got to ask yourself this. When you get a buyer, how do you do it? Like seriously, how do you do it? No, I got a buyer presentation, we print some stuff out. That's not good enough. Because you have to go deeper. When you get them to come to the office, how do you greet them? How do you establish that bond and rapport? How do you identify what type of style they are? Are you matching and mirroring? What's the first thing you say to them? What 3 questions do you ask? Do you control this process, set a clear outcome, and make sure their needs are going to get met, and you're the one who's going to meet them mutually? You have to think about it like that. There's a huge commission check on the line. That's how you dominate, when you get really good at that stuff. And you know what? That's meeting a buyer at the office. How about when you meet a buyer and you get one of these sweet 30A leads or a Zillow lead and they want to go see this $10 million property that Jay Johnson just posted? It was sick. Hopefully we'll see that tomorrow. That's a little bit of a different process. You can't just accost them as soon as they get there. You got to slow it down, bond the rapport, identify their personality type. And when you feel that it's right, because you're matching and mirroring and you're experienced, you pay attention to this because you want your technique to be freaking awesome, Mila. I know you're new, but your technique's going to be freaking awesome if you pay attention to it every day and work on it. Then you start asking your questions and engage them in your process. And that's just buyers. And it goes for anything. These are just examples. What happens when you get a referral? What's your technique there? How do I handle the person I was referred to and the person who referred me? Every time, with certainty, you got to know it works. You know exactly what the results are going to be. They're predictive. You're dialed in. You're going to get it done. Technique. Very important. So, conducting an open house is a huge one. I train our team on this all the time. We're huge on open houses. Jay Johnson did one on Tuesday. I love to see people doing them during the week. I follow some of you guys in the room. Conducting an open house, how do you do that? What's your technique? How do you prepare? How do you find the right open houses to do? How do you market yourself? When they come in, what's your energy level? What's your mindset? What's your first question you're going to ask these people? How prepared are you going to be? When they come in, can you say things like, hey, has anyone went over the market velocity and the current dynamics in this $1.5 to $2 million market here in Santa Rosa? Has anyone done that with you? No. Say, come here. Because you're prepared and say, look, right now, there's 6 homes active, 14 are pending. In the last 6 months, which is what an appraiser is going to use, you got to know that, 36 have sold. List to sales price ratio is 102%, so you can expect to pay 2% more. Has anyone went over this stuff with you? You're a buyer, right? Yeah. This is important. And they always say no. Then you say, hey, well, I'd love to invite you to my office. Because if no one's went over that with you, they're probably not going to teach you how to make sure you maintain a quality equity position when you go to buy real property either. Because you can do that in this market if you do it right. You start talking like that, because it's just technique, and they go, fuck, I want that guy. That's my guy. And half you people say, I don't like open houses. Everyone comes in with an agent. Half the people I convert at open houses have agents. Not my problem. I'm there to do me and take advantage of this time. Because I spent so much time crafting that technique. And you gotta get dialed in with that stuff. So which one did I miss up here? And I just realized I missed it. It's like the most important presentation you can give. Listing presentation. In this market, and in most markets, this is the golden. There's no higher and better use of your time than going and sitting at someone's kitchen and giving a listing presentation. Would you agree? Like, that is the best thing you could possibly be doing. And you cannot practice on that almost guaranteed paycheck. What's the average price here? 1.8? 50 G's. Would it make sense to prepare for that? But per one, each time. And you probably can double end it. We double end a lot of our stuff. People get weird about that, dual agency. We love selling our own stuff. We sell 20% of our own listings. Dual agency, deal with it. We're here to make money. We're here to serve our clients. So I'm going to tell you a quick story on this listing presentation, because I have the best listing presentation of all time, and it's not because I found it or designed it or did anything. But this is a good realtor story, and this is a bunch of realtors in the room. Everyone always wants a good listing presentation, right? That's like the thing. Can someone just show me what to say, how to say it, when to say it, that just works every time? I just need this. Well, I was at a Tom Ferry Summit in 2015. Doug, you might have been here. It was in San Diego. I was getting coached by Bill Pipes at the time. I liked him. He was a sales guy like me. So I had some access there. A guy, Tom Ferry, says, I found the guy. I've never said this in my career. I found the guy who was the best listing presentation I've ever seen. And we got the proof is in the pudding. He only takes listings $4 million and up, from Carmel to Coronado. Coastal, luxury, West Coast real estate. I've never seen anything like it. Converts 94%. He goes on 100 a quarter. He's not even a real estate agent. Would you guys like to hear about that? And everyone's like, oh my God. And I was like, this is the guy I've been waiting for. Now I'm actually paying attention. Skinny Indian guy gets up there. His name's Sharon Srivatsa. You should write that down. You gotta follow him. He's not even in the game anymore because he was so good. He sold his company to Douglas Elliman. He was a Goldman Sachs banker, Vanderbilt MBA. He gets up and he goes, look, I go on 100 listing appointments a quarter, more than one a day, only $4 million and up. We convert 94% of them. And I do the same thing every time because I have really good technique and I'm really serious about my process. And he gave us a little bit. He kind of wetted your whistle. And everyone at that event was like, I want that freaking thing that he had. Because what he did is he pulled up a black book, beautiful, it's like the freaking Bible. And he said, this is my listing presentation. And I'm not going to show it to you. But I'll give you a couple key things. And he said, this is a leather-bound book. It's beautifully designed. I take this with me. I never leave this anywhere. I bring it to my listing appointment. I go over the listing appointment. We convert it. I close it up, and I take it with me. The only people who get this are me and the agents who I know can present it, because we role play this every day, all the time. Because every listing appointment is 100 G's. And he 10x'd that company in 3 years, sold it to Douglas Elliman, got out of the business. So anyway, I started stalking this guy. This is 2015. At the time, I was probably doing 80 million, just still, it was 7 years ago. I'm like 25, 26, pretty new. I said, that guy knows something I want to know. I got to do whatever I can to get him to help me. He kind of blows me off. I try to get a hold of him. He's busy. He's selling his company. Then I hear him on a podcast 2 years later, in 2017, after he sold his company, and they asked him, Sean, what's one piece of advice you'd give yourself if you were younger? And he said, I just wish I would have been willing to pay for access. I'm in this crazy world now with all these bankers, and we sold all this money, and I'm just a poor kid from India, and if I would have known, all I had to do was give someone money and they would help me, I just would have done that a long time ago. I immediately say, that's my ticket. I blow him up, handwritten note, call, text, email, Facebook Messenger. I said, Sharon, you said you wanted to pay for access. Let me pay you. I need you to coach me. I didn't even have a coach at that time. I'd left Tom Ferry at that time. He calls me. He says, Andrew, I don't take on really personal clients. I only do venture capital now. I've never coached a real estate agent, but I like you. I looked you up, and I see a lot of myself in you. So tell you what, wire me 25 G's. I'll talk to you once a week. And we'll figure out what we're going to talk about. You know what I did that day? I wired him the 25 G's. And he gave me this black book. And I made it my own. And it's so freaking good. I've never even told this story before. Half the people on my team I don't even talk about it because they don't need it, because they can't do it, because they're not committed yet. We're going to talk about some of that stuff too. I'm not nearly as nice as Doug. We want winners here. And if you can't handle it, then beat it. I can't even deal with it. You're going to infect my space, and it's not going to happen. So here's what I'm going to do. Because I love Jimmy, seriously, the guy, no joke, has helped me out more than any other individual. I mean, he got me on Boomtown Closers. I'm on the Rethink Council. You're putting me on Inman. You're inviting me to things like this. And by the way, I'll do anything to help the people in this room because of Jimmy. If I see that you're affiliated with Beach Properties of Florida, I will respond to you. I'll do everything I can to help you. I'll give you anything I can. And we have a lot of stuff. So tonight, I'm going to give you that black book and the 10-page document with exactly what to say and how to say it and when to say it and what they're going to say back to you and what you say back to that. And it is intense.
Guess what sales meeting next week?
Well, here's the deal. I want you to play with it. I want you to, because that's actually when they sold the Douglas Elliman. I have the Douglas Elliman version. You got to make it Beach Properties of Florida. So you may take a month with that. Don't rush this one, Jimmy. Do not rush this one. You take some time with this. All right. So you guys got technique. Technique's so important. I don't think we talk about it enough. Like, oh, good attitude. Get out there, do an open house. You got to spend time on this. And it just, I don't think, in myself included, we all need to get better at this. When you get these opportunities, how serious are you about winning and delivering for your client and for yourself and for your team and for your company? It's just the most critical thing. That's pillar number one. Pillar number two is the tools, and Doug talked a little bit about this. Leverage, systems, technology. If you don't have the right tools, you're going to lose. It's pretty much that simple. Or you will get passed relatively quickly. When I say tools, anything. What are you using to enhance your business or gain leverage? You have to have the tools. Social media is a tool. It's probably the best tool known to man right now. For free, I can tell my story and make people watch it, and they get to see me and interview me, and Jimmy can talk, and I can make all these people see it. I don't have to pay anything. And I might make 30, 40, 50 grand if I get a couple deals out of it. Are you kidding me? And people don't use it, just like they don't work on their technique enough. CRM database management. You guys have Boomtown. We could talk for 3 days straight just about how to leverage that tool, Boomtown. They do that conference. We'll be there in 2 months. Boomtown Unite. If you haven't been to Boomtown Unite, you should go to that because they teach you how to use these tools so effectively, so efficiently, and it changes every friggin' 3 months. And that's good because anyone who doesn't like that, this is our chance to catch up. Change is guaranteed, progress is not. I like it when it changes because that's where I can win more because we got to get to 1,000 units. That's our goal, and we're serious about getting there. Lead generation platforms, you guys get some of this stuff. If you have a team, do you have tools to manage your team? I have 5 staff right now, and one of the most effective things I've done is I have a staff meeting every Monday, and we sit down. This probably takes 15 minutes. This is what we were working on this week? Okay, what'd you do? Okay, we good? Next, my videographer. Boom. My media guy. Hey, did you make that presentation? I actually am going to go to Florida. My wife might kill me, but I need that. And I want it to be gold and black. So... Because, by the way, AU, I don't know if you caught it. You'll see it on the last slide. AU, I wrote the gold standard of real estate. It's my personal brand now. It's not our team name. But AU is gold on the periodic table of elements. We're trying to be smart. You know what I mean? Luxury. So these next 2 are more personal. They're mindset-based. And I'm kind of going through these quickly because I want to get to some Q&A because I always think that's where the best juice is in these types of environments. Habits. Are you doing the work or are you not doing the work? The license is cheap and easy. The hustle is sold separately. Are you going to show up? And by the way, you have habits and routines, whether consciously or unconsciously. We all have them. And they're either good or they're not. And we all have bad habits in some areas of our lives. But I'm talking about selling real estate, selling a lot of real estate, and trying to achieve at the highest level this business offers. What are you doing every morning? What's your morning routine? That's something you might want to think about. That's the one thing that can really kick things off in the right direction. Take care of yourself, take care of your body. What time are you coming in? Are you prepared? When you're not face-to-face, belly-to-belly with clients, are you working on your technique? Are you working on your tools? The answers are all there. Doug's buddy Tom Ferry will just tell you what to do. That's all I do. I listen to Tom Ferry all the time. We were talking about coaching a minute ago. I feel like he is my coach. I don't even have to pay him. He just tells me what to do and I do it. It's a habit. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to get better. I'm going to play with this stuff. How do you follow up? How's your technique with your follow-up? And let's be honest, that's where I'm not that good. I could be a lot better. But ask yourself that. Do I follow up properly every time with intention, with a good attitude? Or am I just doing it like, oh my God, I got to call this person back. I don't even want to show them. Buyers are so hard right now. And then you don't even do it. I mean, that's what I do. Someone's calling me. Click. Habits are really important. So that's another pillar. So we got technique, we got tools, you got your habits. And lastly, but certainly not least, is your mindset. Your mindset, your attitude, how you kind of operate in this world could arguably be the most important one. And here's how I like to define attitude. It's like, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about myself as a real estate agent? Even me, 2 months in, how do I feel about myself about this? Is it good? Just like habits. They're either good or they're bad. What you tell yourself, what do you say when you talk to yourself? Tom Ferry says that all the time. How you feel on the inside radiates to everyone else on the outside. So you got to be conscious of this. Most people are unconsciously going through this world with a bad attitude. They don't even know. They're unconsciously incompetent. Don't be that. Don't be that person. So you got to ask yourself, how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about this company? How do you feel about your leadership? How do you feel about this brand, the market, the industry? And really just take note. How do you feel? And there's no right or wrong answer. You just got to know how you feel about it. Because here's what we know. How you feel sometimes will determine how you act. Sometimes. So how I feel sometimes determines how I act. But how I act always determines how I feel. I'm going to say that again. You should write that down and think about it tonight. Because that's some brain jiu-jitsu. How I feel sometimes determines how I act. Should have put it on the slide. But how I act always determines how I feel. So you can imagine another thing I should have put on the slide. So I call it the feel wheel. This is how I feel about this particular thing. And that feeling leads to my actions. And my actions lead to my results. And my results reinforce how I feel. And that's mindset in a nutshell to me. So open houses, to keep up with that example. How do I feel about open houses? It can go one of two ways. One is, they don't really work. Everyone has a buyer. I don't want to work on the weekend. The listing's probably going to sell. No one's going to come in. When they do, they don't want to talk to me anyway. Therefore, that's how I feel about it, which is my head trash, garbage, weak, lame excuse. That leads to your actions, which is, I guess I'll do one just so I do something this month. I'll do one. And I won't be prepared. I won't be worried about my technique. And I can't wait to get out of there at 2. Because I could do it for 3 hours, but I'm going to do it for 2, maybe 90 minutes. And my results will probably suck. And that'll reinforce the fact that this whole thing's stupid. Okay? Let's be honest. that's how, I feel that way sometimes. Or you can say, I cannot believe I have this opportunity. I'm on freaking Santa Rosa Beach on a brand new $3 million listing. I get to hold it open because I was so prepared. I found out the minute that came coming soon. I said, can I please, dear God, hold this open? I'm going to be so prepared. I know all the market statistics, what's active, what's pending, what's sold. I'm going to be so good when these people come in. Oh, my God. Some of them are going to have homes to sell. I know it. And I'm going to be ready for that, too. My feeling leads to my actions. Prepared, technique's good. Boom, my results are probably pretty good. And then, God forbid, you make, what's it, 1.8 average, $50,000. Yeah, feel pretty good about open houses. I love them. I can't believe people aren't doing them. I'm glad that they're not doing them because I'll take them all. $50K a weekend. What are we talking about, right? That's mindset. It's how you feel. So some of the key takeaways that we're working on in each of these areas. I said that. The other kind of key piece to mindset that I should have put up here is I think these 3 things are the most important things. We talk about how you feel, but it boils down to this. You have to have clarity. Right, Heidi? Remember, Mark Starks was talking about this in Omaha, that first where I met you, Jimmy. This guy's awesome. He owns Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, California properties, Nevada properties, Arizona properties, just sold them all to HSA, and he's a beast. And his technique's really good. And I have a bunch of Instagram videos of me ripping off his stuff because he said some awesome stuff at that meeting. Anyway, so clarity is the first thing. What do you actually want? Do you want to do 20 million? Do you want to do 8 million? Do you want to have a team? It's okay. You got to know. Do you want to do 500 deals? Do you want to be on your phone 9 hours a day? Or do you need a who so you don't have to? You have to get clear on what you want. Once you have that, I call this the Trinity. Clarity is one. It's kind of harder to achieve than you think. You have to have real honest conversations with your spouse, your partner, yourself. Once you have clarity, it's about self-discipline, which is the habits. Okay, now you know what you want. Do you know what do you know what you have to do to achieve it? Are you willing to do the things you know you're supposed to be doing, even when you don't want to do them? And that right there will separate you from 90% of the industry, because they don't. And that's why we get a bad name a lot of times. Realtor, fee pirate, scum, worthless. I love that. I said, oh, that meant me. I'm going to change your perspective on that. I'm going to change that up real quick. Because you won't want to go into a battle without me and our team when you're buying and selling real property. That's my mindset. So you have clarity, you have self-discipline, and the last one is personal responsibility. It's totally up to you. No one's coming to save you, Mila. You're 2 months in. Get a mentor. No one cares. It's up to you. So if you have clarity, self-discipline, and personal responsibility, you bake that together, you will be unstoppable. An unstoppable mindset, which is only one of the 4 things. So here's the thing. We have these 4 pillars, right? I think these are the 4. Everything I've learned in 12 years falls into these 4 pillars. The words up here is just some of the takeaways, and I'll get to. But can you imagine if you only had 3? Not good. If you had the best tools, which you do here at Beach Properties of Florida, and you had great habits, you're willing to work hard, your mindset's good, you're leaning in. I know this leadership's down to help anybody do anything all the time. They're helping me, and they don't even make any money off me. If anything, I'm taking all the time from Jimmy. Put me on your council, buddy. And he does. So if you had tools, habits, and mindset, but your technique sucks, you'll probably quit. It'll probably be too hard because your axe isn't sharp and you're out there hacking away at stuff and you're just like, dude, you're not good. Call it what it is. You're not good yet. And that's fine. Everyone starts somewhere. And you can run this with any of them. All right, my technique's freaking awesome. My habits are great. My mindset's good, but I just don't have the tools and I'm just not willing to use them. If you're riding around on a horse and buggy, I will smash you with the Tesla. There's nothing you can do about it. If you have a Nokia phone and you're playing Snake and you're texting people back, you can't even do the emojis, and I got this iPhone 14 Plus, whatever the hell this is, you will get smashed because you don't have the right tools. So all 4 of them, you can't have 3. 3's not enough. So these are not mandatory. You cannot be casual about any of them. And the market is going to change, and the technology is going to change, and the venture capital's coming in. I'm not saying this to spook you out. This should be like, hell yeah, it is. I can't wait for this to get disrupted. Best trained team, I like a muddy field. Well, I want that ball to be wet. I want to be on offense the whole time. Because change is guaranteed, your progress is not. I don't want to stay the same. If it can change it, if I just maintain, that's not good. When it changes, that's your opportunity to grow. So that's how you got to start looking at these things, and these are the 4 areas you grow. So here's, real quick, before we jump into Q&A, if you want to do Q&A after this, is one thing that I'm not going to talk about the sales process because I can just go on a diatribe and I won't stop. But we did that 24-minute video, and if you don't have a process that you know works, where you know exactly how to match and mirror, get your bonding and rapport right, set the right expectations, uncover their compelling reasons to do business, have permission to talk about money, know who the decision makers are, and really set clearly defined outcomes up front immediately in every interaction you have, you're not doing it right, in my opinion. And look, I'm looking around the room, there's all these beautiful people. You're naturally already good at this, and you're going to get by doing 8 million, 10 million. But if you really want this, you're going to have to be better at that. That's technique. You just got to be better. Tools, the one tool that I'm really excited about, and I'm sorry I missed it because I was on freaking a layover in Atlanta, is social media. Here's the rule on our team. If you're not willing to create, no, look, you don't have to do this, by the way. You're just not allowed to complain if you don't. This is what you need to do. You need to find a way to create compelling content. Keyword being compelling. And that 38 talk was great. They gave you some good ideas. The content has to be compelling, and you have one of the most prolific video influencers in the industry as your CEO. He can help you with this. Create compelling content and figure out how to distribute it properly. That is the tool of all tools. And by the way, all these things are mixed together. Require some technique and other things. Create compelling content, figure out how to distribute it, and right now I'm literally, for pennies on the dollar, absolutely murdering it on YouTube ads. Because everyone's, in my opinion, too lazy to figure out how easy that ad platform is. Super Bowl Sunday, I was in freaking people's living rooms all day, $300 in the zip codes I wanted to be in. ripping off some Tom Ferry stuff on a green screen, trying to sound smart. YouTube ads, and then TikTok. I just got on TikTok. I met this guy in my hometown, Bel Air. We get to talk, and he goes, dude, I'm the #1 mortgage influencer on TikTok. I said, really? I'm not even on TikTok yet. Because it's one more thing that I don't really want to do. I'm already doing Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube. Because you need to be on TikTok. Well, guess what? You have to be. I don't care. I'm not emotionally attached to any of these social media platforms. I'm attached to where the attention is. And he said, I'm making $100,000 a month on TikTok. So I said, now I'm interested. And all he does is post videos, and it's very childish, and it's kind of funny, with trending sounds. Am I good on time, Jimmy?
Yeah,
We good? All right, so I'm about to wrap it up. That trending sounds, though, on TikTok is insane. So you guys got to follow me on TikTok. I'm doing the most ridiculous stuff. My kids love it. It's just so childish. And I'm getting hundreds of thousands of people watching me. Today, one of the views, I have 300,000 people stopped and watched me, and they know I'm real estate, and everyone calls you, look at this fake Ryan Serhant, Walmart-looking, discount Ryan Serhant, Make-A-Wish. That's literally what they say, and I love that. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's cool. I'm the Baltimore version, a little smaller, a little scrappier, a little more charm, no problem. So that's the tool. Habits, I'm gonna skip that one. Look, I've really been focused on my follow-up. Every day before I stop working, I pull out my phone, I pull up Boomtown, and I pull up my Google Calendar, and I make sure every text message, every conversation I had is in there. I probably should have a who for that, like Doug was saying. And I make sure that I debrief myself. How was I on my appointments today? How was I, for real? Because I'm only talking to myself, and you know when you suck shit. I'm like, I didn't show up. I wasn't prepared. I completely wrong it. It still worked out. Shame on me. I could have been so much better. And then mindset. Here's how you maintain your mindset. The biggest thing for your mindset is you need to be confident. Confidence is the absolute key to being successful in this career. And it's part of mindset. And the best way to build confidence is to always be gathering evidence that you're freaking awesome. You got to do it for yourself. This is not conceited. It's not egotistical. You look for evidence any chance you can get that you're freaking unbelievable. That people would be crazy not to do business with you. And you keep that. And that is the fuel that feeds this stuff. Because no one's going to do it for you. Take responsibility for it. So, thanks for your attention. I'm done.
So,